The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. They find some open field here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Edwards-Helaire on the counter. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now here's Mahomes. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Here's Mahomes to throw. With no hesitations, they go right back to Kelsey. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. What a career he continues to have. That catch is number 815. That ties him with Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe.
And just think about this. The only people ahead of him at the tight end position in catches, Antonio Gates, Jason Witten, and Tony Gonzalez. You catch 815 passes as a tight end in the NFL, call your tailor and get measured for the gold jacket.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. 1st and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders at the 31-yard line. Here's Gibson to start the drive. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Hal's throw complete to Dotson. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
They go play action with Howell. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On 2nd and 9, Howell. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
They'll run with Gibson. Yeah, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Fourth down, Howell. Complete, it's Dodson. And he is going to have a Washington 1st down. They didn't get a lot, but they do convert on 4th. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. A give running right, Gibson. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Howell. Got his man complete over the middle. Now the ball comes loose. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what is it?
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. Now a swing pass, it's Edwards-Helaire. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a 1st down right out of the gate.
A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
From the 39, Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried a stress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Mahomes going to throw. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, a pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. He'll field this at the 5. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. From the 16, Powell. That one complete out to Dotson. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. Powell to the air on 1st and 10. And brought in by the tight end Cook. Finding space at the 40. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
A give up the middle to Gibson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Right now I'm just wondering where they turn on offense, Charles. I know we're not in the 4th quarter, but 2nd quarter haven't scored and struggling to move the ball.
I don't think they abandoned the run game totally, but maybe you change up your tempos. Maybe you go a little bit faster. Try and catch them back on their heels a little bit to try and accomplish what you want to get done.
A deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Some might say that he's got to look that in and absorb the contact, but even at his size, that's a tough throw to hold on to. And he was unable to on that attempt.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Powell throwing on 3rd down here. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. He's got room at the 30. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 38 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
First down, Howell to throw. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, an 14-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. On now to punt. Here's Bradley Pinion. Agnew now to return. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. To throw on 2nd and 10. Powell. And the Chiefs are going to get him. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now, Charles, dealing with a 3rd and long, they'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
3rd and long, here's Howell. And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Hardman on the return. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Yeah, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
A give to Gibson running right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? Out left to Dotson. And out of bounds right around the 20. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
Sly able to put this one through. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here. That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Second down, Howell now. Going to be caught downfield by Dotson. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the final clocking on the next-gen stats there, how about this? 22.1 miles per hour. Wow. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching, and there's another first down run right there.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. One more time with Gibson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result...
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. Sly able to put this one through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Now Mahomes. Open man, it's the tight end Kelsey. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles about the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire to about the 26 here.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
What a decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. Down inside the 10. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there getting the safeties involved in run support.
One more time with Edwards-Helaire. Down at the 2. Broke through the first contact, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's got daylight. The 30. 10. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. But just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
Howell throwing for it. That's caught at the 1. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And this one is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now it's Mahomes again. And his throw here is incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Mahomes to throw once more. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration is settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Throwing here, Howell. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And now the punter, Tressway, as he sends this one away. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the 2nd half. Butker on for the PAT. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So a 7-point game. They'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And here's a give to Gibson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. This offensive line starting to win up front. And win that battle in the trenches, you can kind of wear them down here late.
So you bring in the second part to that equation, and that's the big running back, the big bruiser, who can get more than what's blocked and break a few extra tackles and gain yardage.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Gibson. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. A handoff for Gibson. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
A bit of extra pressure now for this one on Joey Sly. This to perhaps salt this one away. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to find 2 scores, so, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again, but they can't work.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Tarvarius Moore, and the Commanders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee. So a victory here for the Commanders.